Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spirit Guide Chat. My name is Jake. Welcome and welcome back to any returning viewers. If you haven't yet, hit the like, subscribe, and hype button. I would really appreciate it and really appreciate the growth of this Lightworker community. Today, weekly reading, we're going to cover like we usually do here on this channel. I do readings about current events. If you like me to read on a specific question, feel free to comment below, and I will cover it in a future video. So let's get started. I hope everyone's having a good start of their 4th of July weekend. I know I am. So far, so good. I hope everyone stays safe and cool if you are in this massive heat wave that's going on. I know right here in the Midwest, it's been rough. I know especially some people in my town do not have air conditioning, and I'm very fortunate. I have central air, so please stay hydrated, stay cool the best you can, okay? All right, we're going to just dive right in here. So I want to talk about the one thing I want to talk about that's been, I haven't asked this in a while, is about if they are planning to do a land attack on Iran. I know when I read about it before, it's always been in the thought process, and if they do, it's going to be very disastrous. So let's see if the Warren One and the administration are planning a land attack. The Ace of Pentacles coming out right away, jumping out. Yes, they do have a plan, but will it happen? Let's take a look. Gosh, the cards are jumping out. There's the proposal to do it. So let's see if it's going to. So they have a plan. They have a proposal. Spirit is jumping cards today. I feel like the Queen of Wands here is somebody in the group, female, that is what I'm getting instead against this plan. I wonder if it's Susie Wise. So let's take a look if this will happen. Okay, so right now there's being blocks, there's resistance for this plan. With the Nine of Wands. Here's the Knight of Cups on its side. There's just a lot of, I get the orange one's very disappointed because this is the proposal that's on its side. People are worried about the money part. The Nine of Pentacles is in the foundation. In the past, there was the Wheel of Fortune here. I think there were some people on board, not so much on the, again, Ten of Pentacles. I think it's the money factor that's really, really driving this push against doing this. The Hermit card's coming in the near future, some light's being shined on it. And Queen of Swords. I think there's going to be individuals that are going to be saying no. They're going to be like, heck no. The High Priestess is from the outside, there is some kind of secret agenda happening. He's hoping with the Sun card there that's going to happen. The Two of Cups is the outcome. So there's going to be some betrayal. So I'm wondering if they might do a limited. There was talks about Crag Island. I think that's the name. So you correct me, I'm wrong on the pronunciation. If they do, it's probably going to be, what I'm getting, it's going to be at that island. I don't think they're going to head towards the mainland of Iran, but I think that Crag Island will most likely be the land invasion. But there is pushback right now. But because of the budgetary reasons, but maybe to satisfy him, they can afford to invade this island versus the ground. Let me check real quick to see how it goes if we do this island. Okay, Spirit, if it's Crag Island, Spirit knows if I mispronounce what I'm speaking of. They do invade, the U.S. invades this island. How will this go? What will be the end result? And the Two of Cups is probably with Israel. I'm assuming that's a partnership that's happening if they do this. Okay, first of all, the Queen of Pentacles is right here. What's being crossed by this is the Two of Cups. Money and just the providing for, there's some distrust about this plan. Some delusions and illusions with the Seven of Cups. Four of Pentacles in the past, keeping the cards close. They want to say that there's going to be a victory in this. Six of Wands. Here's the secret agenda with the High Priestess coming soon in the near future. King of Cups. The King of Cups that I've been saying to Spirit, this is the Vance, that I feel like Vance is against this agenda. Here's the celebration coming out from the outside. They're hoping for an ending and beginning. And they're going to say financial security. Now, this island is, I believe, is the refining oil refinery center of Iran, one of the major ones, I should say. I think they're going to find some success in taking over this island or taking over most of this island. And I think if they do this, they will have some sort of success or claim to have some sort of success. Yeah. So now, I didn't ask, and I'm going to move on for time's sake. This does not mean if it's successful at what cost. I think I've asked that in the past, and I think there's going to be quite a bit of loss if with people loss. So that's not usually what's on top of mind with this administration. So yeah. All right, speaking about lives, let's look at Senator McConnell from Kentucky. There's a card already wants to jump out. I want to see if he is still with us in this realm. Let's see what card jumps out. Here's the Queen of Wands coming out. Woman coming out again. I wonder if they're talking about McConnell or Queen of Wands could be his wife. Point blank at her name. She was a cabinet secretary in several administrations. But anyways, Elaine Chao, that's her name. She's there by his side, which is not surprising. It's his wife. Senator McConnell, are you still here in this realm in some way? Whether on life support, whether... Because it's already been released about his cardiac arrest. So here it is right now with the 5. This is the minor death card, the 5 of Cups. I don't usually like to read on death, but this is concerning because this is dealing with whether this person's here or not and with the government. Now, this is not saying that he's necessarily passed. The 8 of Swords, the truth is on the side. So we'll see what the rest of the cards are saying. So what I'm saying, they're not really being honest about how much he's here. Here's the Queen of Cups here. Comfort, calm, emotionally caring. This could be nurses taking care of him right now. The 6 of Pentacles, in the past, they were giving him medication. The Empress card. Right now, there's... probably something, people are taking care of him right now. Long-term view, there looks like there's going to be some more medicine to keep him around. With the continuous care, Queen of Pentacles, and here's the completion and beginning of a new cycle. So something's going, and here's there's some kind of trickery happening. The Hermit cards, maybe. So what the story I'm getting from Spirit is that he's kind of in and out of this realm, so to speak. So He's probably on life support that I'm getting. They are administrating medicine, so he is technically here alive. He's probably on, like I said, some machine. Um, but from the outside environment, here's the world card. So it means that if they take him off the machine, he probably won't survive. So let's do a follow-up question here, because Kentucky passed a law recently, within the last few years, I should say, where it used to be that the governor can appoint a replacement, and right now is that they can, the whatever political party of that senator, the state party, recommends 3 individuals for the governor to appoint. So as a temporary replacement until there's a special election. Now, there is an election currently going on for him, because he's not running again. His term ends this year. So that's why I'm thinking that they're keeping him on until a certain time, because then they can't do a special election. Somebody I heard on it's August. I think it's August is the date that you can't. There wouldn't be a way to do a special election. So, what my question is, if or when he passes McConnell, will the governor follow this rule about this new rule, or I guess I should phrase this in a more simplistic way? Will Governor Bashir appoint someone will appoint his own person that he wants to replace McConnell? We'll see what Spirit says. I'll explain why I'm asking this. Hey, this is going to be a lot of hard work with the Ten of Wands to do this. Cover up naughty kids. The Lover's card here on its side. There's disharmony within if he does this. But he's a natural leader with the King of Wands. He's actually in the past, so I think he's already thinking about this, because we're talking about once he passes. So in the past, so this would be probably what's going on currently with Governor Bashir. He is going back and forth, but there is positivity on this with the Sun card, and here's the Judgment card. So I think if he does do this and ignore the rule, he's going to go to court. It's going to go to court about this. And there's going to be some kind of retreat with 4 of Swords. High Priestess is the hidden agenda. The Ace of Swords is in the hope and fear, this kind of breakthrough. And this is the plan B, the 6 of Swords. So maybe he might do this. Let's see what the bottom of the deck says. But there's most likely, with this, there's the most likely. The reason why I'm saying this, that he might do this agenda by going ahead and doing his own thing and letting it go to court to prolong, because most likely they won't be able to do they won't be able to do a special election for a replacement because of timing, because of the regular election that's happening in Kentucky. So what I'm thinking is that since Governor Bashir doesn't want to appoint another Republican, he's going to hold off, try to kind of like almost like what the orange one does. He's going to go against the grain, do his own thing, and then let the courts hold up this replacement. Therefore, they're going to be running one short in the Senate. So I'm thinking that's what's his plan to do, is to play the same game that the Republicans are doing, and just short, which is actually a good thing to have one less Republican vote in the Senate. So, yeah. Okay. Okay. Next, I want to see if July 15th and 16th is going to be the beginning of um, Todd Blanche's confirmation hearing for Attorney General. Remember, he's only temporary or acting AG right now. I want to look back. I was getting that he was going to be confirmed, that he was in a bumpy ride. So now we're getting closer to the midterms, and this is going to be interesting. How this hearing goes. So, will the Senate confirm Todd Blanche as Attorney General? Will he be confirmed, Todd Blanche, as Attorney General? Okay, so this is a bumpy road with this Six of Swords. Okay, they want to get this moving and get this going, but here we go. Seven of swords is coming in. So when it's on its side, this is actually kind of rethinking its approach. I think the Republicans right now are going to be in a rock and a hard place about this nomination. Here comes the Queen of Wands, keeps on coming in. Um, there's somebody in here that might be tarnishing or going to say things. And I'm thinking this is Susie Wiles that I'm getting in here. My feeling is that's her, like, throwing in wrenches here on purpose because she's just tired of the stuff that's going on. There is resistance right now with the Nine of, in the recent past. There's been voiced resistance with the Nine of Wands. See, this is what I'm talking about. Ten of Swords coming in right away. There's going to be some. This hearing is going to be very contentious. People are not going to. The senators will have a hard time figuring this out. What choice to make with the Seven of Cups? I think there's going to be disappointment with the Five of Cups. There might be somebody else being offered. I wonder if there might be somebody else that might get this. They may offer this position to someone else. Here's the hopes and fears with the Knight of Pentacles. I still get this. I want to say this came up the last time with the Five of Wands. I'm thinking he's not. I still think that there's going to be somebody else that they're going to drop his nomination and have somebody else. I'm still getting a no. And that was like a month ago. I had a no, and I still get a no. It's going to be a bad hearing. And I think senators are going to say, you need to bring somebody else. We don't have the votes. I want to say, if I remember correctly, I would have to go back to my notes. I want to say it might have been Lee Zeldin, which was floated around before, who's the Interior Secretary. So it might be him instead. All right. Speaking about Todd Blanche, Katie Fang won her court case, which is going to appeals. The federal judge said that he needs to release the unredacted files. If not, he needs to present evidence of why they have to stay redacted. So let's ask if the appeals decision will go for Katie Fang. Okay, so they're walking away from something, so that's the Eight of Cups. Okay, the World card's here. Queen of Wands on the side. Ending and beginning. There's some insecurity about what if this decision is going to be in their favor. The King of Cups is on here. Somebody's trying to have control. The Empress is in the past. Here's the Seven of Pentacles. I think there's information about money parts. Here's the Death card and endings. Things coming out from the surface with the Moon card that they're worried about. Queen of Pentacles again. I think there's financial information on these. Part of the big chunk of this is about financial information. Here's the High Priestess, the secret agenda. Knight of Cups. Yeah, she's going to win her appeals. The next question is, will these documents be released? Like I've said, if you watch videos where I've talked about the EP stuff, the biggest takedown is going to be the money factor, which when it comes to things like this, it's always the money that gets people in trouble. Like even think about like big time criminals like Al Capone, like they got him on tax evasion, like the money factor. And when you're talking about these poor women and girls at the time, like this is going to be the money factor that they're hiding. That's going to be an easier way of connecting the dots. So, will these documents, the full documents, minus the victims' names, will they eventually be released to the public? Hey, the moon card, things coming from the surface. The Ten of Cups is on the side. This is the broken family. Here's the women, the victims, with the Three of Cups, the Queen of Cups in the past. That's probably Ghislaine Maxwell there. There is a celebration here at the Four of Wands, which is good. Here's the Sun card coming soon. I think this decision is going to be a quick one. It's about, again, the money card's popping up again. Six of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. This is going to come out fast. I think this ruling is going to come out fast. About what they're hiding is the money with the Four of Pentacles. Yep. And here's the King of Wands. He's going to have to release this. This information is going to be released. He's trying to hide the money factor in regards to the Epps files. All right. All right, the last thing I want to talk about before our general reading is talk about how will the Orange One's speech go on the 4th. The Orange One, the speech, how will that go? Orange One speech, how will that go? Okay. Deceptions. What? Surprise, surprise, right? The Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords being crossed by. They're releasing negative thoughts. It's not going to be a uniting speech. Here we go. Queen of Wands popping up again. Queen of Wands, Susie Wiles. Here's what in the past, people are wanting a celebration, right? That's not what they're going to get. He wants control with the Four of Pentacles over this. Here's the Hangman. I think there might be a delay. There might be something that I change, something that might happen, whether there's a delay in the speech, yeah, there's going to be a challenge with this. I think people may walk out on this thing because it's going to be hot. People are going to be waiting for seeing the fireworks, and there's people are going to be like, I'm done. I'm not going to sit here through this. The Knight of Swords, they're going to try to salvage this somehow. The Lover's card is in the hopes and fears. The Hermit card, it's just not going to be lovey-dovey, which is not a surprise. And I don't think people are going to be there as much as he wants it to be. Where are we at time? Oh, we have time to ask this last one. Let's look at, rumor has it tomorrow, I believe, yeah, Friday, tomorrow, it's supposed to be Travis Kelce's and Taylor Swift's wedding in New York. So let's see it. Let's do a fun one. Let's see how the wedding will go. Will the wedding go as planned on Friday? Will we get to see any fun things? I mean, this will be something because with how many Swifties are out there, I have a feeling if this happens, this will get the headlines going more than this. Like, how will that wedding go successfully? Will it happen on Friday? Let's see. Okay. The Seven of Swords came up. Normally, this would mean like this is trickery, this stuff like that. But there is deception. I feel like she and Travis, because they're such a high figures, they've been working strategically to get this wedding over. The strength is on his side. They're a little bit insecure about if everything goes well, which is a normal thing. But if you are these two individuals, this is it's on such a larger level, so it's only natural that this would be it. I believe that Page of Wands, this is going to make headlines. There's going to be news people around. There's already people planning. Here's the new beginning in the past. I believe that they already made the decision. And here's the planning going right now at the Two of Wands. Right away, there's going to be luxury, love this for them, with the Nine of Pentacles. And right now, I think with the Hermit card coming in here, I think there's just going to be a light shown on this, how beautiful and everything like this wedding. Because they know with the Four of Cups here, I feel like they want, even though this is their wedding, they know it's going to be publicized one way or the other, and they know people are just apathetic right now and during this time. So I think in some ways, especially Taylor's pretty connected with her fans and people in general. I think she wants to bring a joy and happiness to people on some level too, while keeping her own privacy and stuff like that. Don't be surprised. Six of Pentacles. I bet there's going to be a charity function of this wedding because they'll probably won't accept gifts. They'll probably do some kind of fundraising for this. And yeah, it's going to be a huge success. This is a very good card for them. The Ace of Pentacles, abundance, and whatnot. So yeah, it's going to go off really well. And I think they're doing it obviously for themselves, but also to help out the community, as well as community in the sense there's the fundraising part, and also bring some joy out there. So, great. That was a much better person to end this reading on than the orange one, right? Oh, we need some joy and laughter. And, with this 4th of July weekend, I know I've been kind of a funk about this 250 celebration, and we'll see what the general message is, but try to make it special with the people you love. Even if it's by yourself, make it special for yourself. Get that. Don't watch the news. Don't watch all that. Focus on the community. Maybe go out and for a little bit to maybe a parade. If you're able to, and the weather is decent enough, the parade. Maybe you have some kind of festival, something to get you out, or spend time and just have a simple cookout or something like that. And make it your own. Because remember, we've been getting messages about we can make our own changes, our own world around us. That's the biggest change we can make, is within our own environments. Okay? Queen of the Moon Oracle is the card set I'm doing again today. I did get some positive feedback on last week's using this, so I'm going to use it again. And again, I love these cards. I love my Oracle cards, but these ones, I'm just vibing with them now. That's how it goes. Like, even with decks I haven't switched my decks of tarot in a while, but I usually vibe with something when it calls to me through spirit, and this Oracle deck is what's being called. So, what message can we get, Spirit, to the viewers? A message for the 4th of July week. So what I'm doing, again, to explain for those of you who may not watch, I'm going to do 3 cards and then continue on as Spirit, till I feel that Spirit's finished the message. So again, boundaries. creating boundaries for ourselves for protection, fruition, creating something, creating the world around us, and be patient. Here's the patient. Look at this card, this artwork. It's showing that there is the craziness right now that we're in. But we can see the end right here. It's going to happen. We just have to continue moving forward. Okay? Look at the beauty that's around us. Look at the flowers. I touch grass, as the kids say. Look at the beauty that's out there, right? There are beautiful things out there that's beyond the other stuff, the things that are closest to us. And remember, about self-love, loving yourselves, doing the things that make us feel good, okay? And in discernment, we can filter out what we don't need to hear. We can be in the clouds for a little bit and have some fun and enjoy things, taking care of ourselves in our heart, mind, and spirit. The void. This is what sometimes we may feel right now, that we can't get out of it. And what does the void create? Fear, right? Because of the fear of the unknown. But we're more resilient. We've been through hard stuff. Spirit is telling us we've done this before. We've gone through. And you know what? This beautiful artwork, this woman here is still continuing to move forward. She's not on the ground. She's continuing to move forward. In assessing what's around us, right? As we move forward and taking action in releasing what doesn't serve us. And that's where I'm going to stop there. That's a beautiful message that that Spirit is telling us, right? They're explaining to us to protect ourselves, to give us self-love, to continue to move forward, and to release the pain and anything that's the darkness. Don't allow the light to dim. In this last artwork, when we release it, we're allowing this light within us to be shine outward. And I'm telling you, the little changes that you make, improvement inside of here, and then releasing that outward will improve outward as well. It does. And if other people do that too, it just times it by 10. With that being said, have a safe and great holiday weekend. Until next week, bye for now. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you then.